Welcome to Stitching with Cindy Botts. Today's project is a crochet hook holder, a little zipper pouch to hold your crochet hooks. So this is the one that is finished, and I've got this nice pretty yellow fabric and a yellow zipper. Inside I decided to use two different fabrics, one for the pouch and one for the lining. And as you can see, the crochet hooks just fit right in there. There's room on each side for 5. And that's our project for this evening. So to start this project off, you're going to need some material. Now I chose to do mine in 2 different colors, this yellow one. And so I needed to cut the outside fabric. For the outside panel, it is 14.5 times 8 inches. So one rectangle that size, and then another rectangle of that same size, but this time I cut my 14.5 by 8 inch rectangle for the lining, and then I cut it in half. So there is actually a seam down the middle here, all right, or there should be a space for a seam, I should say. Then you need your interfacing to be cut at 14.5 by 8. Then for the pockets themselves, I cut 2 10 by 7 inch rectangles. And what you do with that is you fold the 10 inches over to make the pockets so it's a little stronger, and you have the fabric on the inside of that pocket too. Now, if you wanted to not have all of these in 5 on each side, you could leave one open as a pocket for your scissors if you wanted to, or a yarn needle. You could make a little pocket there, add a zipper or a Velcro, and maybe I will make a pouch like this for sewing. We'll see what happens. All right, so that is how you start. So let's take a look at it. The first thing I did, now for the ones that I did tonight in the mock-up here, I'm using flannel. I don't think it really matters if you use flannel or interfacing for this project. It's really just your preference, whether you want it to be stiffer or softer. So here is my 14.5 by 8 inch rectangle. This will be my outside fabric. And then what I have done is just stayed stitch my flannel into it. All right, so that is stayed stitched down. So that is ready. That's first step. Then with my I'm going to set my inside rectangles that I cut in half, the 14.5 by 8 that I cut in half, so it's 7 1/4. I'm going to set that aside for now so I can talk to you about the 7 by 10. Now, what I did with mine, just because of the type of fabric I had, I'm using up some stuff from my stash. I actually had 2 squares that I made to make that 10 by 7 rectangle. I fold it in half, just as if it was one piece instead of 2 sections, and I sew 3 sides. All right, and the reason you want to sew the 3 sides is that when you go to sew it in to your lining piece, you don't want to come all the way to the edge. You want to leave some room there for the zipper, and that way you don't have any raw edges here on the pocket. So go ahead and your 10 by 7 inch rectangle, go ahead, your 7 by 10 inch rectangle, fold in half, sew a seam around 3 sides, and then turn it right side out and press it. Then you're going to take that, after you've turned it right side out and press it, you're going to take it and you're going to lay it so that it's about 1/2 inch up and 1/2 inch from the outside where the zipper is. All right, the center can be right butted up to the edge. Okay, and you're going to sew that pocket down. Then after you sew the pocket down, go ahead and mark 1.25 inches in, another 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches, and 1.25 inches until you have your 5 slots. And after you mark them, you go right ahead and stitch on the lines that you made. And then using your iron, you can just erase your heat erase pen and have your inside panel ready to go. Then you simply take your inside panel and set it aside because you are going to work with your outside panel next. And what you're going to do is you are going to do the zipper. Now for the zipper, you're going to start at the opening at the top. You're going to find the center of your outside fabric and you're going to mark the center, and then you're going to start sewing in your zipper about 1/2 inch in from that mark. See if you can see my mark. Yes, it's right in there. Maybe you can't see it. Okay, and I had a little difficulty with my thread for a second, but we got it working. So you're just going to attach your zipper to the outside. Okay, so you're going to want the zipper pull and the teeth to ride on this side, okay, on the right side, so that you could see it here. Okay, so you lay your zipper pull onto that fabric and just work it around, your zipper around, to make sure that you have it not twisted and you're good to go. Then you just simply sew around. When I got to the corner, I weighted in about 1.5 inches and back stitched, then came back to 1.5 inches, not 1.5 inches, 1/2 inch, I'm sorry, 1/2 inch. At that 1/2 inch mark, I pivoted and came down along the side. Again, when I got to the 1/2 inch mark down here, I back stitched a little bit for strength. Then I went ahead up to the 1/2 inch mark and pivoted and did the side. My seam, my zipper foot, actually I wasn't using the zipper foot, and that's a problem. That's why I was having difficulty. Slid off a little bit, so I had to backtrack and just come down to the center on this side and stay about 1/2 inch back and back stitch a little bit to give it strength, and you have your first side of your zipper on. All right, so now what you're going to do is, my fabric is directional, so make sure you have the top at the top and your fabric facing correctly. Then you take one of your inside panels, making sure that you have the side that has the extra room for the zipper on this side. Now this time I didn't get it all the way over to the other side, but that's okay, it's not going to hurt anything. All right, so this again is directional, so this will be actually the side that for the zipper. So with the right sides together, I'm going to lay that down, and you're going to start at the the top again. Now you're going to want to get that right at that mark again, that center mark. Start in 1/2 inch and sew around, pivot at your corner just like you did before, all the way around. Then what you're going to do, since these were right sides together, you're now going to turn it right side out, and this is what you will have. You will have your zipper encased inside your raw edges and the zipper ends encased inside. All right, so then you go ahead and you just do the same process on the other side. The trick here is to start pinning your zipper for this side with the zipper closed. So go ahead and close up your zipper and get it to where you can pin the fabric so that you know where it is here. And then, so I have my zipper closed. I have my zipper closed to about here so that you can mark where the fabric and the zipper should come together so that your teeth line up. All right, and what I've also done then is left it closed and had my zipper laid down, begin my sewing so it started, then go ahead and unzipper it the rest of the way, leaving that mark. Go ahead and sew up to that 1/2 inch mark, remove the pin if it's a pin I use for marking, or if it's just the pen, then you can just go around and sew like you did before. Okay. Oh, here's Miss Turtle. She loves to be on camera for some reason. Excuse me, Turtle. All right. So then you just repeat the same process by adding that inside fabric like we just did. Then when you have your 2 pockets on like this, you're gonna have a raw edge down here down the middle. So what you want to do is you just want to take a narrow strip of material. You're going to fold in the 2 side pieces, the 2 sides, and a little bit at the top, and you're just going to lay that folded piece in the middle, and you're going to tuck your zipper ends down in so that they're behind this piece of material that's laid there in the middle. All right, so you're going to have it look like this. All right, so here we have a piece of material that's got the folded edges back, and I didn't do such a good job down here. I think next, oh, I know why. I didn't leave myself enough of my zipper on the ends, and I don't think my material was quite as long as I thought it was. All right, so make sure your piece of material is long enough to come right to this edge, and tuck your zippers in. Here's where I didn't leave enough when I cut my zipper. So you want to have enough of a zipper tab to tuck in underneath that. Okay, and then if you have any raw edges on this side, you just want to, when you top stitch it, which I've done on this one, I went ahead and top stitch it. You just want to make sure you fold it back. So there it is, all folded back nice. And my top stitching didn't touch here. That wasn't such a great job either. But you know what? I enjoy my sewing projects. They're not perfect, and that's okay. I enjoy them. They are handmade with love and will be appreciated. I believe some of my nieces are into crocheting, from what my sister said, and I think I'll be offering a couple of these to them, see if they're interested in holding their crochet hooks in this project. All right, well, happy stitching. I hope you enjoyed this project. Please like and subscribe, tell your friends, and come on back for the next thing. Have a great night. Bye-bye now.